Hello and welcome to the Frost Seymour Experience. I am Paul Seymour.
And I'm Nik Frost. How are you, Paul?
I'm not too bad, thank you, Nick. How are things with you?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Enjoyed today's games. A lot of goals today, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, a couple of, all four, I think, were decent games by the look of the scores. So, yeah, obviously we've got the final groups today. So, obviously, we'll take a look at them shortly. We'll start off with the early games, of course. It was Slovakia, Spain, Sweden, Poland. You managed to catch the Sweden-Poland game, wasn't it, Nick?
I did watch that. A cracking game, actually. Obviously, Sweden took the lead 1 minute into the game.
Wow.
Defensive error, really. The Poland player swung a boot at it to clear it, missed it, and just rolled through to the Sweden player who said, "Thank you very much. Job's a good one." Slots it in.
Yeah.
So from then on, Poland rules up against it. Obviously, going to go down after a minute.
Of course. Yeah.
But end to end, pretty much all game. Sweden went 2-0 up. Before Lewandowski, he pulled a goal back with an absolute beauty, screamed into the top corner. Have you seen it?
Yes, I managed to see it, mate. Yeah, it was a boomer, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Finally came to the party, Super Lua.
Yeah. Better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah, he then got another, made it 2-2, 10 minutes to go. So, all they had to do was get another, and they were through. Pretty much throwing everyone forward, as you might have expected. Got caught on the counter. Boom, 3-2. They're out. Done.
That was the end of that. Yeah. Shame for Poland, really. Obviously, they had a good qualifying stage, didn't they? We did tip them to qualify. I did see a bet. I was acknowledged to a bet earlier on. Some guy was going to win about £9,500 off a £5 bet. He managed to get all the other groups perfect. I think he even got the Group F perfect as well. Now I look at it, but he didn't get the Spain-Poland top two. That was the only two plus one he put. Sweden, Spain, so he missed out on over £9,000 from a five. He could have cashed out, but never mind. It's one of them, isn't it? You take your chance. So, unfortunately for him, of course. But yeah, it's sad times for Poland. Lewandowski finally turned up. I think the first game they played against Slovakia, that was a big game for them, wasn't it? And that's the one they really should have done more against, I think. And I think that's come back to haunt them.
Yeah, they've been up against it from the off, really, after losing that game, which they should have won. Obviously, they went down to 10 men, which pretty much ruined their tournament. That going down to 10 men at that point, going on to lose that game, and
massive.
From there,
all downhill. Yeah,
obviously, Spain have battered Slovakia. They've looked to play.
Aye.
I don't know if you saw any of the goals. The first
one, I managed to catch them all.
Bizarre, to say the very least.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? I mean, Dubravka had a great save before. A couple of moments before, he was some fantastic saves. But yeah, that first goal was a bit of a God knows what happened there.
For anyone who's not seen it, the ball's looping up in the air, and Dubravka just kind of palms it in to his own net.
It was quite funny. No, I mean, I felt bad for him, but obviously, it was a weird one, wasn't it? I think he thought he was higher than he was to hit it over the bar, but pretty much just battered it in, like you said. So that was the end of that.
And from there, obviously, Spain just ran riot.
Yeah, I think Spain had the momentum, then, didn't they? They just kept going forward, taking shots, I mean, I think Dubravka made another mistake as well. So the pressure was on Slovakia. Slavic made enough, I don't think, to qualify. I don't think they qualified to the next round, even off that performance. So I think they do go out. I think Ukraine ended up making it in. We'll go for them in a moment, of course. But poor showing from Slovakia, really ended up on -5 in the end. But yeah, it was a weird. That's what makes it so frustrating, I suppose, for the Polish, because they had a chance to take Slovakia out when they did, but obviously things went awry there, and that was the end of that. But do you think that's a fair analogy of the Group E? Did you expect it to be? Obviously, we didn't expect Sweden to be top, I don't think. Do you think it's fair?
I expected Spain top and Poland second, but the way the games have been played, I think it's fair. I think Sweden have been the best team in terms of performance of those four.
Yeah, very strong, weren't they, against Spain first game?
Yeah, I think Spain will get stronger as the tournament progresses.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it's a fair table.
Yeah, a decent table.
Yeah.
Aye. So obviously we'll move on to Group F, which was just played not so long ago, 8 o'clock kickoff in the UK time. And you managed to catch the Portugal-France match.
I did. Of course, penalties galore. 3 of these goals were penalties.
3 penalties. Yeah, it was probably from my screen of a penalty. I thought, what's going on here? Penalty, then another penalty. I did manage to see the incidents before we jumped on. The first one, my God, I do agree. I've always said it in my time, but the goalkeepers are very heavily protected, aren't they?
Not today, clearly.
Not today, no. He came in with a Superman punch and took Danilo. It made me laugh though when Danilo went on the floor. Because obviously he hurt his face, but then when he landed on the floor, he kind of realised that he'd just been punched in the face, and then started rolling. And you can see him looking around at the cameras to say, "Look, I have been punched in the head." That didn't make me laugh. It wasn't like a clean KO from WWF or something like that. So, WWE, sorry, goodness me, how long have I been out of the game? But yeah, clearly a penalty. The second one, I didn't think it was, though.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was very, very soft. And I think he felt like he was making up for the first one.
Yeah.
Because like you say, it was a pen, I think, in most people's eyes. But the keeper did touch the ball. Like, he made the punch, touched the ball, but then followed through and full smack to the face.
Yeah, so the rules do state, that's correct. He did right.
But the second one, very, very soft. And he refused to go and take a look at VAR, which I thought was a bit
mad, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Spanish referee, wasn't it? He wanted the Champions League final.
That's the one, yeah. Fluffinator has joined us. Hello, Fluff.
Hello, Fluffinator. Welcome. I don't know what that is. Eyes learning. I think you meant to put an emoji, and I think it's just gone a bit awry. But thank you for joining us nonetheless. Obviously you caught the second half. What was that?
So that was 1-1 at half time, a penalty each. The second half, France took the lead with a. But it was a nice finish from Benzema, but the goal was all about the pass. It was a world-class pass from Pogba. It is bizarre. Pogba is like a different player when he plays for France to what he is for Man U. He puts on that France jersey, and he's one of the best players in the world, bar none.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Different gravy. Absolutely world-class pass. Picked out Benzema, who just slotted it in. Lovely goal.
Nice finish. I've always liked Benzema for all those years. I've always had respect for him. He's always been one of them clinical finishers, hasn't he? But again, I think if Ollie watches how Paul plays, like instead of putting him in like the middle as a holding midfield or whatever he does at Man United, if he stuck him on the right or let him have a go, because he did it at Juventus, didn't he? He let him have a free roll at Juventus, and he did wonders. So it'd be, like I say, stick a different shirt on him, and he's world class. So. And that was 2-1, wasn't it?
That was 2-1, and then finally the last goal for Portugal, the equaliser, was another penalty. This one, I think, pretty clear cut. It was a handball, and it was close, but the player's arms would be. It's a pen, definitely.
Nowadays, isn't it? Definitely, yeah. There's no asking nowadays. So, but overall game, was it good?
It was a good game, yeah. I think both teams showed a lot of quality. You can see why both are considered two of the top heavyweights in the game today.
Slugging match, I suppose you call it.
I think a draw was a fair result as well.
Fair result. Okay, fair enough. I managed to catch the Germany-Hungary game, as I said I would. And I think I predicted 2-2 for France-Portugal, didn't I, yesterday? I was hoping it was going to be 0-0 for you, but never mind. Germany-Hungary, not quite the 5-0 drumming I was expecting. In fact, quite the opposite. In fact, Hungary started off really well. Got in the lead, in fact, a nice little header. And the bottom corner post, I don't know where he was. He just wasn't there to save it. Great header. Hungary held the lead for such a long time. Half time, went in 1-0. And then obviously came out in the second half. Germany actually got one back through Havertz. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen it, but the ball got just in front. It was a failed shot, bounced in front. Obviously, Havertz finished it. And then almost instantaneously, Hungary went at the other end within 30 seconds to a minute and scored again. Again, very brave actually from I just want to mention this to the striker. The name escapes me, but as no was coming out, I mean he's a big guy, isn't he? Coming flying out, and to come in with that little header, knowing full well he could have been taken out any moment. I thought that was very brave from him. So 2-1, Hungary were. They went to second at one point, I think, wasn't it? Because France took the lead, so they actually went into second. But as everything changes, so does everything else. And then 84th minute, Germany then find an equaliser. I can't pronounce his name. I do apologise. I think it's Gratschka, that's the one. Yeah, he managed to get the goal for Germany, of course, and it was 2-2 in the end. So, but Hungary, I tell you what, they turned up. They knew they're in this crazy group, and after the first result, everyone was thinking, "Oh, well, that's it then." but they played well. They got 2 draws out of 2 of the best teams in arguably in the group. Well, in the tournament even, yeah.
Yeah, they did themselves proud. I think they go out the tournament with their heads held high. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like you say, I mean, throughout the game, all the 4 places in this group changed throughout that 90 minutes. Very exciting, really.
Yeah.
I think at one stage, England was going to be playing every single one of those teams at various stages throughout the evening.
That's mad, isn't it? Eh? And obviously, with 2 draws, nothing really changed, did it? So it ended up being how it was at the start of the day. So what a kerfuffle, but mixed bag. But yeah, that was it, really. That was the end of the groups, and I was quite impressed with the games I watched. And obviously, we'll talk about the groups, of course. Group E just finished Sweden top. Been very impressive, no losses. Throughout, very strong game against Spain. I think held up well in the first game. Spain managed to pull off second place in the end, with obviously that 5-0 drubbing of Slovakia. That was enough for them to take them above Slovakia, of course. And of Slovakia, not enough to get third place in a little group league I think they've got going on. So unfortunately, they do bow out. And then we got Poland, who end up in the very bottom place. Lewandowski turns up to the party, but had jeans on, so was sent home.
Yeah, well, turned up too late, didn't he? Scored 2 today, which, unfortunately.
He got himself on the list, but that was not enough, was it? So that's the end of that. But if you want to go for Group F, why not?
Yes, of course. So obviously, France, pre-tournament favourites. I think most people expected them to top the group, which they've done. Wasn't easy by any means.
No.
Draw with Hungary, draw with Portugal, and beating Germany in a narrow game. It wasn't an easy win over Germany by any stretch.
Yeah.
Germany got second following today's result.
Yeah.
Portugal third, but do go through as one of the top third place teams.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately for Hungary, they are crashing out with 2 points.
But
shame.
More points than anyone thought, did they really?
Yeah, I think Hungary have been really unlucky there.
Yeah.
They were 7 minutes away from going through before conceding tonight.
Yeah. It's interesting to look at it. We'll have a quick chat with Flef. England, the new Italy of old. Well, Italy of old, I mean, if it was Italy of the 80s, they'll take it. Even Italy of the 30s, they World Cup winners back then as well. We'll take that.
I think he's talking about the Italy of the 90s, where they kind of played for 1-0 wins and just were super defensive.
Yeah. I can't remember in 1990 where they finished in that Italian World Cup. Didn't they finish? Were they semi-finalists? Then they go out against Argentina? Yeah. I think. I can't remember who was in the final, but yeah, lame sketch. But yeah, I'll tell you what, if that does it, if 1-0 wins will do it, I mean, then we'll take it. 100%.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. All that matters is the dub.
That's right, the dub. Get that dub. Right, so obviously I tried going on the Euro website before jumping in. It's still not updated yet, but I did get to catch the BBC's BBC broadcast. It said, so obviously in our country is the platform, the way it says. Obviously England have Germany in the next round.
I can't share it, but I've got the list in front of me if you want me to go through them. I've got them.
Yeah, by all means. Why not? Yeah.
So obviously we've already looked at these on this Saturday coming. We did that yesterday, so we won't spend too much time on that. We'll just confirm Wales-Denmark is the first knockout game at 6 o'clock, followed by Italy-Austria at 8 o'clock. That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, we've got Netherlands against the Czech Republic. That's being played in Budapest. Tough game, but I'd call a Netherlands win probably.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And then we've got a real big clash. Sunday night, Belgium versus Portugal, played in Sevilla.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. I've managed to get something up. Give me 2 seconds. There you go. So, that's pretty much that. Let me just get this down here because it's always a kerfuffle. But yeah, that's how it looks. Like you mentioned, yeah. So first game up is Wales, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Tough.
It would be, yeah.
Belgium, Portugal. That's going to be
that's been played in Seville, isn't it? So that'd be it will probably suit Portugal towards that area of the world, a bit closer to them, of course. But I don't think there's any. Is there any home games here? I don't think there is there? I mean, every team.
England are at home.
Oh, England, of course, yes.
Germany, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, but Belgium, Portugal will be a banging game. I think that one is probably next to the England-Germany game overall.
Yeah, I'm going to call that as a 1-1 draw, and it's going to go to penalties.
Yeah, well, Lukaku scores a brace or something. Yeah, interesting to see how that will work out. Actually, Lukaku against. I thought that. Let me just say. What's his name? I think it's Sanchez, who plays for Portugal. He had a bit of a rough time when he played for Sweden, didn't he? Sweden. What am I about? Swansea. I was right with the Swede bit. Sure. But yeah, I think overall, this group is. I mean, overall, you got Wales, Denmark, Italy, Austria, of course, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Belgium, Portugal, Croatia, Spain. That'll be a good game. I think Croatia start to come in.
Yeah. Obviously, Modric has played in Spain.
Yeah.
Obviously, Croatia's best player.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough game because Spain have not really. I mean, I know they won well tonight, although they were gifted the lead, obviously, before they went on to win well. I think that'll be a tough game, and I think Croatia might get an upset there.
Yeah, it'd be good to see, wouldn't it? To see Croatia do something about it because they played well in the World Cup. Obviously, got to the final, no pushovers. But yeah, be interesting to see how that turns out. And obviously, the one I'm interested in, of course, is England Germany. What's Flef on about? Something about
yeah.
Oh right,
just taking care of business.
Taking care of business. The bees are back.
TCOB.
And then we got Sweden, Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine made it through, didn't they? In the end, after the Slovakian defeat, then the goal difference, of course, that kind of let Ukraine in. So obviously, Ukraine will be happy for Spain at the moment, made up, and that's what we're playing Hampden Park.
Indeed.
So that's where that turns out. Let's have a look at
Swiss. You think is probably going to be a walkover for France, or do you think Swiss can do anything?
I think the Swiss turned up. I think they'll play. I think they'll put up a good shift in, but I still think France will be too strong for them. I think France in every area of the game. Okay, they've not really performed amazingly. They've not destroyed team and blown them away in this tournament. But what they have done is they've turned up to a very strong group. They've played controlled play and they've done enough, and they've still finished top. And the fact that they finished top in that group when they didn't really have to play that good, kind of tells them their strength. And this is straight knockout now, so they're going to not mess around. They're going to be like going for it. And I think, Griezmann's been quite quiet. I think, obviously, the introduction of Benzema's obviously boosted the French, but I think Griezmann's going to have a lot one to see. He's going to want to try and make a name for himself on this tournament. He's not heard the last of him yet. Obviously, Mbappe hasn't scored, has he? He had a goal ruled out earlier, of course, but he's not had. Obviously, only in the groups, obviously, but not tonight. But he's not really shown anything so far.
No, he's had flashes where he's done a little bit of trickery on the ball, and you think, whoa. But yeah, overall, hasn't really impressed that much.
No, I mean, people go on about Harry Kane, of course, but Mbappe's seen as like potentially the next best thing after Ronaldo and Messi. So you'd think that he'd be. I mean, maybe in France he's getting the same treatment as Kane getting, but
maybe.
We'll see. But
we've got to talk about it. England versus Germany, the big one. At Wembley.
England versus Germany all over again. Right. Well, we knew that it's going to be tougher no matter where we played. I mean, even Hungary, the way they played against Germany tonight, I'd be worried about Hungary because they were little fighters, man. And I think against England, I think they'd probably put a performance in. I think Germany are, they've just made it through. Obviously, that performance against Portugal was fantastic, of course, in the second half. They had to. But if England can control that, I mean, they're very defensive, England. If they can just hit them on the counter, maybe they might have a chance. I still think it won't be enough. I honestly don't believe it will be enough for me.
Okay. Well,
there we are. So I've got the quarterfinal. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't really give you information yet. That just tells you who's up. But let's go back one.
Flafnator has predicted a 1-0 England win.
Well,
it is their favourite scoreline after all.
It is indeed. Yes. Well, you never know.
It could be something special.
Yeah. 1-0 England win, eh? Well, if that happens, Flafnator, that'd be fantastic. We will find out shortly. Now, this game here, unfortunately, I'm going to be at work for. How about that?
Yeah.
So that sucks, doesn't it? I know, you're right. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to watch it at work. That's the way it is. There's nothing going to stop me there. So if anyone watching from work, prepare not to get anything out of me from 5 till 7 when we close it. Just saying. So that's the game I'll be watching.
Of course, if England do manage to get by Germany, they'll be playing the winner of the Sweden-Ukraine game, which is a very winnable game.
Ah, right, I see. Yes. Well, they defeat the Swedes, didn't they, in the World Cup?
Yeah.
Sweden had a great World Cup, I thought, up until when they played us, or England, as it were. Yeah, but obviously it was too much, and they knocked them out. So I think it's definitely winnable. And I think after that they could face either. Is it Wales?
They could face Wales if Wales can win their next 2 games, and England do as well. It could be Wales-England semi-final. Imagine that.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I mean, I think the options are for us. We could face Italy in the final. I think even Netherlands, and Belgium or Portugal. So could be a big fight. Could be a big way through. If they get past Germany, they're gonna have confidence to defeat either Ukraine or Sweden. I think they'll be too strong for them either way. But then, of course, if you get in the semi-finals against Wales, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, United Kingdom will play, but I mean, it's doable. It is doable. But will England do what they always do? And my opinion, they always kind of flap, don't they? At certain points, it was almost as if they get too high. So, but we will see. Obviously, there's no games on tomorrow, and that's it now for the groups. There's no game on for the next 2 days, I didn't believe. So the next game is on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I have a day off Saturday, so I'll be watching both games, and we should be coming to you shortly after that, of course.
Of course. I hope you enjoyed joining us for these group look-ats.
Yes, it's interesting the whole way through. Oh, quick message from Fleffinator. Here we go. Home advantage. I don't think Germany has a good history in our patch. Well, Euro 96 says otherwise, but of course, Germany are going to be tough to beat. I think from anybody, they're going to be tough to beat no matter what. But yes, I agree. I mean, the advantage is in England's side, but I don't know. It's Germany, isn't it?
It's Germany. It's always going to be tough. Southgate needs his revenge, doesn't he, for 96?
Oh, yes, of course. 25 years after. I love it when down to penalties and you see Southgate like whipping off his jacket, saying, right, do what Stuart Pearce managed to do, get his revenge. But yeah, I think if it goes out to penalties, we're doomed. But before that, I think we've got a bit of a chance. I believe it. Yeah, there we go. I'll go with that. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, we've got a chance. I've got every team on this page has got a chance. Of course, anything can happen in one-off games of 90-minute football.
Yeah.
Straight knockout football.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, if we can get past Germany, definitely a semi-final. I think potentially even a final. If the results go our way.
Yeah, I'm going to say we're probably going to lose to Germany. But I hope we don't.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just call it a spade. Germany's just going to beat us. That's it.
I think we've played 3, no disrespect to them, but not great teams. Croatia are strong-ish, but not the force they were, whereas Germany have just come through the group of death.
Yeah.
But they're already in tune, playing the top teams. They just played France and Portugal, for God's sakes. Yeah. And Hungary, not as much. But yeah, even they would... I would say Hungary would have qualified from our group, the way they played.
Yeah. Yeah. They would have had a chance, wouldn't they?
So they're already at this level where they need to be. At some point, we're going to concede a goal. And having not conceded yet, how do we then bounce back from that? Character needs to be tested.
Exactly. I mean, Germany have had to do it, haven't they?
Twice,
in fact.
Twice
tonight, once the other day. So yeah, I mean, they've managed to do it. So if England did score early, say Sterling got one again, history repeating, then Germany have got it in the tools, haven't they, to turn it around?
Yeah.
It'll be a difficult one, but if England beat Germany, they're going to go to the final. That's my prediction. But I don't think they'll get past Germany. That's it. That's my final word. All in. Going for that. Yeah.
Well, we'll end it there. Shady's final word.
Yes, indeed. Don't put any money on me. Of course, I'm not that potent, but it's definitely don't get any money on this Fleffinator guy. Don't do any of that. The lawyer's still contacting you, Fleff, for that dismal result earlier. yesterday. So that's the end of that, really. So you got anything to add, Nick, or was that?
No, I'm looking forward to Saturday. Hope you'll join us then Saturday evening for more match analysis.
Yes, indeed. Until next time, take care of yourself, dude.